Hello, Namaste, Jojrapa. Welcome to another episode of SJ Moto. We have something very exclusive for you on this episode. On today's episode, I'm going to take you to my friend's garage who has the most exquisite collection of cars. And today he sent me his Maybach to pick me up. So it's going to be very exciting. Let's go. So people think I'm crazy, right? So in this episode, I'm going to prove that I'm not crazy. Now, how do I prove that I'm not crazy and I collect so many bikes? I prove it by introducing someone who's even more crazy. Let me introduce a good friend of mine, Raj.
What's up, man? How you doing?
Welcome to the show.
Welcome. Thank you.
So thank you so much because you are proving my sanity today. People think I collect a lot of motorcycles and automobiles, but Raj is even crazier. So today we're going to talk about his collection, focusing on vintage cars. And we'll take you through his collection and he will brief you personally about all the cars that he has, many of which are the only piece in Nepal with a lot of history. है धेरै इतिहास बोकेको एक पिसको पनि उहाँको धेरै गाडीहरू छन् र मोटरसाइकल पनि र उहाँले आफैले पनि उहाँको बारे एउटा एउटा हामीलाई चाहिँ टुर दिनेछ. So Raj, I'm feeling like a kid in a candy store. Seriously, I have goosebumps, and I know you have a lot of historical models. नेपालमै भएको सबैभन्दा पहिलो मोडलहरू पनि छ. यसको बारे अलिकति हामीलाई भनिदिनुस् न. के हो यो गाडीहरू तपाईको? Prized possession के छ र कुन गाडी तपाईको?
Well, this is my oldest car I have. It's a 1928 Ford Model A. यो गाडी चाहिँ नि यो बोकेर ल्याएको गाडी हो काठमाडौँमा. There were about 4 of them, and this is in perfect driving condition with all its tax paid up. So right now it's the oldest driving car in Kathmandu.
And full tax paid.
Full tax paid. All cars are full tax paid.
So oldest गाडी बोकेर ल्याएको र full tax paid, fully restored in working condition.
Yeah, that's correct.
Ford
Model A. 1928.
So this is the Model A.
Yep.
And then you have the Model Bs.
Yes, these two are both Model Bs. This is the 1932 Model B, and this is a 33. This 33 is a 4-door, they call it. This was made in America, but this was made in Australia.
Oh.
And these also are one of the oldest cars in the valley. There are about 2 other ones also in Kathmandu. They drive around once in a while also.
That's एउटा कुरा भन न. अहिले तिम्रो झन्डैले कति 30 वटा जति गाडी छ?
26 classic cars.
26 classic cars, हैन?
From the 80s and before.
अब I also love a little bit more motorcycles. तिमीले चाहिँ दुई पाङ्ग्रा थप्छौ त्यसमा, हैन? So your passion, not only do you आफै रिस्टोर पनि गर्छौ तिमीले. पार्ट्स बाहिरबाट ल्याएर ओरिजिनल पार्ट्स सकेसम्म गरेर रेस्टोरेसनमा. So that is a tedious process.
Yes.
Unless you have passion, you can't do it.
And patience.
And patience, हैन? र नेपालमा भिन्टेजको स्टेटस के छ गाडीको? किनभने मेरो पनि भिन्टेज मोटरसाइकलहरू छ. मेरो अब त्यो मोटरसाइकल मध्ये जुन भिन्टेज बाइकहरू छ मेरो पनि सबै ट्याक्स पेड हो, कर तिरिरहेछ. तर मैले वर्षमा एकचोटी गुडाए पनि रोड ट्याक्स मैले वर्षकै तिर्नुपर्छ. So what reforms do we need in the policy?
What you said is exactly right. I also have 26 of these cars, and some of them I don't even drive once in 2-3 years. It's ridiculous to pay a daily tax and drive the car once in 2-3 years. Some of my old cars that are big V8s, the tax is almost more than 2 lakhs a year. And if you drive it once in 3 years, it just doesn't make sense. So there needs to be a reform in the policies. Actually, there is no reform. There is no policy on classic and vintage cars.
नेपालमा छैन.
Almost every other country in the world has it, but नेपालमा अहिलेसम्म भ्याइरहेको छैन. तर we're starting to lobby, and I have faith that the government will definitely put some protection measures for these cars.
किनभने यस्तो अहिले यो त गाडी नेपालको पहिलो गाडी भयो. जस्तो अहिले यहाँ पछाडी हामीले हेर्ने छौं महेन्द्र सरकारको गाडी,
क्वीन एलिजाबेथ चढेको
तीनटै गाडी. भनेपछि यो त नेपालको एउटा इतिहास र कल्चर झल्किने भएपछि त एउटा चाहिँ केही एउटा प्रायोरिटी स्टेटस because you're preserving the history and culture of the country. And this is something that we should all be proud of.
Yes.
So some special status, हामीले केही नयाँ कुरा माग्ने होइन, विश्वव्यापी रूपमा जुन चाहिँ चलन चल्ती एउटा भिन्टेजको स्टेटस हो त्यो चाहिने हो।
धेरै हेर्न पर्दैन, जे इन्डियामा छ त्यही म्याच कट एन्ड पेस्ट गरे पनि पुग्छ। अब अहिले मसँग 25-26 वटा छ, तर अहिले पनि नेपालमा 150 वटा क्लासिक कार छ। अनि द सैड थिङ इज from what I know, more than 50 cars have been pulled apart into pieces and sold to India. And यो चाहिँ नि every day collectorsहरू इन्डियामा they know नेपालमा क्लासिक कारहरू छ, राम्रो राम्रो गाडीहरू पनि नेपालबाट गइसक्यो,
सबै इन्डियामा गयो,
इन्डिया गयो, इन्डियाबाट कुन कुन ठाउँमा गयो. And some of these cars are from the Rana time, from the Shah dynasty, and even now there's some beautiful cars from the 80s that were the best cars on the roads. Even Darbar Bhitra, there's such beautiful cars left there, but
हाम्रो आर्मी म्युजियममा पनि त रोल्स रोयसै छ नि त,
छाउनीमा छ,
ऐतिहासिक एउटा चाहिँ अटोमोबिल हो नि,
त्यो पनि छ. अनि एउटा हिटलरको पनि मर्सिडीज छ,
that was gifted by Hitler.
Yes, but they have no budget to fix it, and they have no idea to fix it also. त्यो गाडी त प्लेनमा राखेर जर्मनी लान पर्ने to the experts. They're not even mechanics, those are restoration engineers, certified. But for that you need to put a lot of effort into it, because
यसले गरेर अर्को एउटा कुरा के आउँछ भने टेक्निकल एक्सपर्टिज र स्किल्स. सो यसले पनि एउटा रोजगारी त सृजना हुन्छ नि अटोमोबिल इन्डस्ट्रीमा. भिन्टेज रेस्टोरेसन मात्रै होइन, म त भन्छु एउटा मोडिफिकेसनको पनि कुरा आइरहेछ. मोडिफिकेसन भनेको के हो त्यो पनि ग्रे एरिया छ, त्यो पनि स्पष्ट गर्यो भने विश्वव्यापी रूपमा त त्यसले त लाखौं रोजगारी सृजना गर्ने र भ्याल्यु एड गर्ने पनि हो नि, त्यसले त इन्डस्ट्री नै हो. सो त्यो हिसाबले पनि हामीले चाहिँ त्यो पक्षले पनि एउटा चाहिँ के हामीले चाहिँ सुविधा चाहिँ हुनुपर्ने नेपालमा नीति नियमको सुधार
गर्नै पर्छ. Because now every new car is going to be electric, so there is no mechanics, no denting, painting, no nothing, no lathe machines. Most of these cars, they take more than 2-3 years. 2-3 वर्ष लाग्छ मलाई बनाउन. अनि त्यो पनि there's an army of people. एकजना चाहिँ नि लेथमा लाग्ने, एकजना डेन्ट पेन्ट गर्ने, एकजना यो गर्ने त्यो गर्ने. Almost 20 different mechanics. Usually most of them above 60 get all excited and get together to fix a car.
So Raj, now you have so many cars here, many of which I don't even know. So you'll have to just brief us. What are these cars?
All right. Well, this is my middle daughter's favorite car. It's called the Baby Austin, and it's famous from Shaun the Sheep, a cartoon, and the farmer drives this car. Yeah. So it's a very small car, but it's very fun. And the owner of this car actually owns the oldest car in Nepal also.
Okay.
It's an Austin he owns, another Austin. It's a 1918. But it's still far from renovation, and I just took this from him, and we're still working on this. This is a car that you don't get the parts anymore, that maybe I would consider converting it to electric, because there's a movement in the Western world to convert classic cars to electric. अब यसको parts चाहिँ पाउँदैन.
यसमा इन्ट्रेस्टिङली नेपाल सरकारले पनि सुविधा चाहिँ दिएको छ. पुरानो गाडी हामीले इलेक्ट्रिक कन्भर्ट गर्यो भने चाहिँ हामीलाई चाहिँ केही ट्याक्समा सुविधा भनेर. मेरो पनि एउटा Honda N360 छ. So I have converted that already.
Oh,
so
wow.
The restoration is I'll show you the car. It's a small car, of course, but I've converted it into electric, and now the interiors, everything is being done for the car. So this is the Baby Austin.
This is the Baby Austin. Over here is a Ford Prefect. This Ford, though it's an American car, was made in England. This was a very popular car during the World War, during the British colonial times. It used to be like an army green, but I made it into a red and black. I was considering doing yellow and black, but then अलि स्वादा.
मैले त अलिकति बुगाटी जस्तो लाग्यो. यसो हेर्दा ए बुगाटी पनि ल्याएको छ क्या हो भनेर. So this is the Prefect, which is the Ford made in
England.
England. Okay.
And this was one of the first cars I rescued, and it took a long time. But this also, I joined a club in London to find the parts. So it's really fun, and they're very excited that Nepalma pani yesto gadi rahecha. They were all these men in their 80s were quite excited. So I've become a member of the Austin Club, Mercedes Club, Singer Club, all these clubs in England, in Germany, and they all are excited that Nepalma pani yo ek duiwata bacha cha bhanera.
And yo kun gadi. This is a Singer?
This is a Singer. This is a Roadster from the 1940s. This is a beautiful car. This car used to be owned by Rajiv Shah and his family. It's a wonderful car. Singer is really popular because of its sewing machines.
So
Sewing machines is still considered to be the best. Singer used to make cars. So this is the single piece Singer in Nepal. This also took a long time to fix. It was like a dirty maroon, but we changed it to a green, like a dark mint green.
It's amazing. I noticed even the white wall tires and everything. So even original parts down to the tires, you've been sourcing and restoring it.
Yes, yes.
कति वर्ष भयो
यो
collection
गरेको
सबै that you've been
झन्डै
collecting?
20 वर्ष हुन लाग्यो that I've been doing it on a full-time scale. But I've always loved cars. My parents had old classic cars also. But त्यही हो पुरानो टाइममा parts पाउँथेन, online access थिएन. You had no choice but to scrap them and throw them. Value नि थाहा थिएन. Just like old paintings, old wood carvings, old statues, people didn't know the value. So here is a Volvo. This is a Volvo Amazon, the only Volvo in town. These cars are famous. This particular Amazon bunny, if you look it up online, were famous because they were the first to have seat belts. The first standard seat belts in any car started in Volvo, and the frame of these Amazons, you could flip this car over and your frame le chahi ni dhamtyo load. So this is a great car. It used to be owned by an American gentleman named Charles Gay, who himself is a famous restorer of motorbikes and cars. And he gave me this car, and uhaसँग मेरो deal के छ भने anytime he comes to Nepal, this car is his. But when he leaves, I take care of it. I keep the taxes up to date, and I make sure it's in perfect running condition for him.
So this might be the only Volvo in Nepal.
I think so. I think there was another one, but not a classic Amazon like this. And this car, you could drive this to Sweden and back. Yesto balyo gadi cha. Aile pani yesto balyo gadi cha. From all the cars I have, this one I don't have to worry about. Then, of course, the Mercedes are pani, they're very strong. Yo ta kaile pani dukha diya chaina malai. Aile samma.
Great, the only Volvo in Nepal. And now I see so many Jamlers. I am confused. Which model is this? They all look very historic, and they're in pristine condition.
Yes.
So which models are these?
These are called Pontons, P-O-N-T-O-N. Pontons were very popular cars in the 1960s. This is an S-Class, a 220S, and this is an E-Class. This is E-Class, ko पहिलाको E-Class haru yastai थियो. And these cars were also very, very strong. And if you go to Africa, if you go to Iran, you'll still see these cars operating. But Nepalमा चाहिँ यो गाडी हेर्दाखेरि मान्छेले ambassador भन्छ. But this car also, this particular car has been in running condition from the day it was thing. I did not have to fix anything. Yes, I painted it, I bought some new chrome items, alikati yo to garera. But these cars are what made Mercedes famous. Because Mercedes was famous because it was strong and reliable. So duita gadi dherai राम्रो छ. I have these two from the 50s and these two from the 60s. This is the very common one. You would see this, these type of cars parked in front of Salty in the olden days, taking the tourists out and about. This is a diesel. This also is like a truck. Very nice car. This is actually a very rare Kombi. K-O-M-B-I, one station wagon. And Germany, अहिले पनि Germans, they love station wagons because सामान राख्न मिल्छ, बच्चा picnic गर्नलाई, सामान राख्नलाई एकदम रमाइलो छ. But this is the only Kombi I have.
Check this out. The wood panels and everything. Guys, and Nepali number plate.
All tax paid. From the 1920s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s to the 1980s. This car I got from my friend Sid Pandey. His father, when he bought this car, brand new, first-hand, was one of the nicest cars in Kathmandu. It's perfect running condition. And on the other side, this car is also used to be owned by the owner of Radisson Hotel, G.D. Shrestha. This is an S-Class, an S280. And this S280 at that time was the nicest car in Nepal. It moves like a rocket, it's very reliable, and this car, after this, everything became electric, everything became plastic. But this, at the time, in Nepal, was the nicest car in Nepal.
You have Volkswagen ko.
Campers.
Campers, eh?
Campers are very, very popular. आजकलको दिनमा These cars in America, in Europe, they cost anywhere from $30,000 to $100,000 in mint condition. This car has a lot of, I have two of these. This is the normal camper, and I also have the Westphalia, which is a mobile home with a stove, a sink, and you can go on picnics or overnight trips. In Germany, they love doing these camper trips. But these cars, हामी बच्चा हुँदाखेरि पनि यो गाडी थियो, अनि so we're very connected to it. हामी पहिला चाहिँ नि हामीले फ्यामिलीले चलाउँथ्यो, पछि फ्याक्ट्रीमा भएर यो यसमा सामान राखेर पनि जान्थ्यो. But there used to be about, I think 20, 30 of these. Now there's less than 10 of them in Nepal.
So thanks, Raj, for sending the Maybach to pick me up. This is the only Maybach in Nepal. Am I right?
That's correct. This Maybach is very special to me. It's I brought this car to Nepal so that when the owner of Wasteiner Germany came, she would be in a German car. In Germany, in her company, only Mercedes are allowed. So she's very close, and this is a great car. It's one of the most comfortable cars, one of the most intelligent cars in the world. And yes, anything better than this, you have to go to Bentley and Rolls-Royce. But as far as comfort, as far as smoothness and performance, this car is a real treat. It's so nice that I'm afraid to drive it.
It's the epitome of luxury.
I drive it not more than 500-600 kilometers a year. So you can do the math.
But whatever said and done, this car has my heart.
Yeah.
This is the SL convertible. Amazing. I mean, look at this car. It's like
yeah. This is by far the nicest classic car in Nepal. It's a 1956 190 SL. It used to be owned by the Everest Hotel owners, the Laris. Before that, Tulsi Giri. And of course, this used to be Raja Mahendra, King Mahendra's favorite car, who used to be also a true lover of classics. He loved cars. And half the reason we have such nice cars in the country is because of King Mahendra.
Oh, okay. I didn't
And every
know that.
time he traveled with Tulsi Giri, they'd always bring back fun cars. It took us over 3 to 4 years to fix this car. I had 2 restoration engineers from Germany come and sit here and break this car down into 4,000 parts and actually get the serial codes for each one and then take it to Germany and slowly, slowly find the parts.
Yeah, and the engine also, you've restored the entire engine.
Yes.
So the engine, the carburetors, the parts, everything is completely restored.
Everything is restored
Amazing.
to international collector condition. Because this car is not like any other normal car. This is a special car. So you need to have all genuine parts. Also, not just genuine parts, you need to have the certified antique car, classic car engineers, restoration engineers work on this car. So this car has been done by a very famous German father and son team.
Yo gadi the international market ma pani this is a collectible Niraj, I know.
Yes, yes, yes. Even though the Maybach is one of the most expensive cars in Nepal, even if someone bought me 2 Maybachs, I wouldn't give this up.
I agree with you.
Oh, but this is very nice. It took a long time to fix.
Amazing.
Yeah.
The Cadillac.
Yep. The 1957 Cadillac Series 2, 62, I think.
Look at these spook wheels.
Yep. This is the giant car of Nepal. Cadillac, Panepachi, is always the pride of joy. In the 50s, Cadillacs were the same level as Mercedes and everything else. This car, Queen Elizabeth herself have sat in. She and Prince Charles at that time, when they came to Nepal 2 times,
New Road
she
Ma.
was in New Road Ma.
Matthew.
Oh,
They
I'll
were
send you the
sitting-
pictures.
yeah.
Yeah. She was in this car. This used to be black, but I changed it to red because मेरो tintai छोरी छ, they wanted a fun car. So गाडी भने यो थुनेर राख्नु हुँदैन. I like to drive it. So my girls voted and they wanted it to be red. One of them wanted it to be pink. When I said pink, त म चलाउँदिन भनेर रातो बनायो. And right here, this is from the 50s. This is a 1960s. It's called a Chrysler New Yorker. This car also is got the largest engine in Nepal. It's a V8 with a 6,800 cc.
V8,
Oh.
6,800.
Yes, त्यो बेला petrol was not even 1 rupiah per liter. So you can, त्यो मतलबै थिएन. अब चाहिँ नि त यो engine start गर्नै 2-3 liter 4 liter खाइदिन्छ. So when I take this for a drive, on the way back it has to be filled. त्यस्तो छ.
Crazy.
This also was King Mahendra's car. It was under Casey's consequence in Balaju for 20 years under a tree. यो गाडी पनि बनाउन यति time लाग्यो, तर मेहनत गरेर without giving up, we fixed this car up. This car was actually in the worst condition from all of them. मैले यो गाडी इन्डिया पनि लगेर the Indian mechanics tried to fix it, but lastमा हाम्रै नेपाली मेकानिकहरूले बनायो.
Amazing.
Yeah,
So
this
Nepalese
mechanics.
mechanics are amazing. You know?
They're good. When they get to it, they really think. Mechanical गाडी त बनाउन मिल्छ.
And this?
This is also a very special car. It's a Daimler, 1972 Daimler. We bought from the Mulla Hotel. This car is also one of the few limousines that was here. This car also has sat royalty in it. अहिले पनि यसको भित्र Kevlar, the bulletproof Kevlar is there into the car. It's very, very beautiful. It's very, very. I just recently had to repaint it so it could last longer, but very nice car. Even the Shah of Iran has this car. Queen Elizabeth has 4 or 5 of these cars herself. So when I look for parts, there's a parts supplier who supplies parts to the Buckingham Palace from this car. यो एकदम rare गाडी हो, एकदम राम्रो गाडी हो, but it's a limousine. So बस्न चाहिँ नि बिहा शादी यस्तो कहाँ घुम्दाखेरि एकदम रमाइलो छ. जति पनि ठाउँ छ, you could fall asleep in this car.
And what British Leyland?
Leyland, yep.
यो गाडी चाहिँ I have मलाई चाहिँ चित्तै दुख्या छ है. यो गाडी मका आएको थियो. मैले लिउँ नलिउँ गरेर त्यो बेला गयो अनि तिमीले लिइहाल्यो. हेर त यो Mustang, I mean, this is one hot car भन्छु म.
Oh, this is a 1967 Mustang. It's a single piece. It's a beautiful car. It's a fun car. This car, when you start it up, more than a Mercedes or more than anything else, यो गाडी देख्दाखेरि young generation चाहिँ एकदम excited हुन्छ किन यसको खुबी नि sound is so beautiful. It's rock and roll, it's freedom, it's thing. It's a great car.
Iconic car.
Iconic car.
One of the most recognized globally पनि होला.
Yes, it is. And now we get to the other big cars. This is an Austin Princess, another limousine. This car also took forever to fix. It's got a wooden frame to it.
Wooden frame?
Yes. This car was owned by Amra Madhukar Samsher Rana.
Oh, okay.
And was at Jawalakhel for many years. And I finally convinced him after a long time. It took me 10 years to convince him that let me fix this car up for you. हजुरको नातिहरूलाई बिहालाई म ठिक पार्छु भनेर नातिहरू अहिले पनि सानो छ तर भोलि पर्सि this car will be in great condition. This is also a very strong car. It runs forever. People mistake it for a Bentley or something else, but Austin is not that high, but not that low. But it just works perfectly. यो गाडी पनि जहाँ लगे पनि कहिले पनि दुःख दिएको छैन. It's fully mechanical, no power steering, so अलिकति बल लगाउनु पर्छ. Brake पनि time लाग्छ, so you have to go slow. But if you see the back seat, how much space you have, you can have a party in here.
Which car is this? Which model is this?
This is a 1970 280S. It's a beautiful car. It's got a lot of history on it. One of my fellow car enthusiasts, Jimmy Vanni, he's quite famous on social media. He insisted that I buy this car. It used to be owned by Princess Helen. SK Jodi was in Sikkim, owned by the king of Sikkim. So this car also has a beautiful history of thing. It's an excellent car. It's an S-Class, and it's
S-Class.
S-Class पनि हो यो. अब अझ यसको अझ काम गर्न बाँकी छ. बिस्तारै बिस्तारै लगिरहेको छु. This is a 1973 220. I just rescued the body. यसको engine work or body work गर्न बाँकी छ. यो someday maybe listमा म लाग्छु.
So this is in restoration. So you've just done the body, interiors and engine, you're still working on it. And
once you fix the body, the car is safe. बाँकी छैन, you have to look for parts and see how to do it. Okay. So this is there. And my other project car.
यो त Impala हैन?
हो नि. An Impala is one of the most sexy cars in the classic muscle cars from America. This is a 1965. Impala SS. Very, very nice car. यो गाडी पनि मलाई त्यो ओनरहरूलाई कन्भिन्स गर्न 10 वर्षभन्दा बढी लागेको थियो पहिला दिनी भनेर भनिसकेको थियो फेरि they changed their mind and they realized
म पनि त्यही गर्छु तिमीलाई एउटा तिम्रो हन्डा तिम्रो गाडी त अब तिमीले दिँदैन त्यो मेरो हन्डा ड्रिम एउटा तिमीसँग छ र BMW पनि पुरानो मोटरसाइकल तिमीसँग छ
This car was owned by MK Singh, a great car. When we pulled this car out of his garden, there was a tree growing out from the middle. Not just a normal tree, like 15 foot ko rukai थियो.
So this is in the process of restoration. As you said, the first process is rescue the car. Sabai denting, painting, anti-rust,
more than car won't die now.
So what is the process of rescuing a car?
The first process
Stepwise.
is you must check the blue book. Blue book छ कि छैन? Blue book छ भने कति ट्याक्स तिरेछ, कति ट्याक्स तिरेछ छैन. हैन? त्यसपछि you have to go and clear the books. Because if you don't update the taxes, you can't transfer the car into your name. You first see यो गाडी बनाउन मिल्छ कि मिल्दैन. यसको पार्ट्स पाउँछ कि पाउँदैन. Parts list निकालेर त्यो USA, Germany, England, Japan जहाँ गएर पनि can you get the parts or not? नभए के हुन्छ नि गाडी किन्यो गाडी बनेन भने it's just a shell. So once you calculate all that, the first step obviously is the tax. Then you fix the body. Dent paint गर्ने. Before you fix the body, I always like to check the engine. Does the engine rotate or not? Engine seize भएको छ भने फेरि अर्को ठुलो समस्या हुन्छ. So if the engine runs, everything else can work. So you first start with the body, you take everything out, then you start with the engine, then the carburetor, the exhaust, the steering, then very later you get into the shocks, brakes, and hydraulic systems. And of course the gauges, then you get into the inside finishing. And lastly is the chrome pieces and glass. So that's the process. But it's a long process. There's no one there's no one place that has everything. It's actually cheaper. It's cheaper to buy the car, a classic car, and just bring it to Nepal and change the parts than to buy parts one by one. For when I think of some of the cars I've fixed, I would have saved more than 60-70% if I just bought a ready-made car from Germany and brought it here. यो गाडी बनाउन भन्दा मलाई अर्को जर्मनीबाट किनेर यहाँ ल्याएर लाइसेन्स प्लेट फेर्यो भने सस्तो पर्थ्यो. फ्याक्ट कुरा यही हो.
So here you have it, guys. A detailed stepwise process of how to restore a car. So I mean, it's amazing, Raj. I mean, what you've done here, and we've all learned a lot about the history of the cars, the history of Nepal, with the various dignitaries that have used the cars. And last but not the least, it will not be complete if we don't cover the two-wheelers.
Yes.
So let's.
And the car I'm still working on outside.
And the car is still working on. Let's move there. Yeah. This is the car that you're restoring, Raj?
Yes, this is my last and final project car that I have. I've been wanting this car for more than 15 years.
Which car is this? Is it a...
This is a 1965 230 SL.
SL.
So there's it's a convertible. This also was Amro Raja Mohendrako Gadi, one of the great cars. To get this car, I traded it with my G-Wagon.
That's passion.
Yeah.
So you gave your G-Wagon for this car.
A good G-Wagon.
I mean,
perfect running condition G-Wagon.
I told you I'm sane, right? I mean, look at this car. He traded it for a G-Wagon. So अब यो प्रमाण भयो कि म चाहिँ अलिकति त्यति पागल छैन मान्छे पागल मान्छे यहाँ छ
यो गाडी पनि it's known as a pagoda, and pagodas are well sought after. यो गाडी मैले बनाएपछि it's a $500,000 car once I fix it, and it's going to take at least 2-3 years to fix, and everything. We already have a list of more than 1,000 different parts. Here's the engine. We've checked it. We have to change so many things.
This is the engine block.
Yep. There's 5 or 6 different mechanics. Old guys have come in. Everyone is excited. You garni, tyo garni bhanera.
Nice.
I've even made a committee. I have 2 guys in the office, one from finance department, one from procurement, talking to the Germans, kasari garni. एकजना senior mechanic, when he found out this car was here, he scolded the junior mechanic saying, "Be careful, this is a very good car." So we're really excited.
Treat it with care and respect.
गर्नै पर्छ. This with the other SL will be beautiful cars. Will be one of the classics, timeless beauties.
I mean, we're really looking forward to this car getting ready and back to its glory.
Yeah, it'll be fun. It'll take a long time. 2-3 वर्ष लाग्ला, तर हामी अब लागे गर्नै पर्छ.
I'm sure you'll do it. So Raj, you sold your Africa Twin, which I
Yep.
gave you.
Yeah.
But it's good to see that at least you have a Honda CRF 300L in your garage.
This bike is the most fun bike in the world. The Africa Twin धेरै राम्रो काठमाडौँ बाहिर, तर काठमाडौँ भित्र जहाँ पनि यो गाडी यो बाइक जस्तो रमाइलो कहीं छैन.
जहाँ पनि जान्छ.
And
No
very
fuss.
reliable, no tension.
Thank you. And now this is the BSA. You have a BSA. This is one of the oldest bikes that I've seen.
It's a 1960s, early 60s BSA. A really nice guy, was in financial trouble and had to pay his kids' tuition fees, and he asked me to help him out, and he would give me his bike, and he told me when he makes his money, he's going to take it back. But right now, it's safe in my house.
I've been looking for a BSA for a long time, and a Norton. कुरा भइरहेछ. Hopefully I will get a BSA. तर ठिकै छ BSA को कुरा, तर यो चाहिँ Honda को Dream Series twin cylinder. यो चाहिँ मेरो बाइक हो. तिमीले राखिरहेछौ सेफ किपिङमा. यो चाहिँ छिट्टै SJ Moto मा आउनेवाला छ. Look at the white wall tires as well.
Yeah, यो त थपेको.
Look at the fenders, and I think this was to protect the dust होला त्यो बेला.
हो.
कस्तो राम्रो. यो Dream Series हैन Honda को.
हजुर. This is a great bike. It's really fun. It's very simple, but it's thing. I think these bikes were there to follow the kings around during escort time.
फेरि यसको sound is amazing. The twin cylinders.
Nice sound, sir.
And then BMW, the original boxer engine. Look at this bike.
Yeah.
Crazy.
As far as classic bikes go on, this is one of the nicer ones in Nepal. Yesto BMW, yo model, I think 62 ki 63 ho yo. Tinta cha, all owned by expats who came in the 70s and go on drives everywhere. To buy this bike, I had to buy this bike also and the RAV4. So यो पनि रमाइलो छ, तर यसको त गेरै उल्टो छ.
So you bought an Enfield and a RAV4
to get this. What to do? It's a beautiful bike.
And last but not the least, this is the Harley Breakout.
Yep.
17 engine.
17 cc. It's a monster. It's so much fun. It's got the big tire. It's got thing. When the Harleys, we used to get together and go on drives. It's a lot of fun. It's very loud, but it's a lot of fun. Harleys might not have the best performance, but the riding pleasure is second to none. I know. And check the license plate. It's 18. So whenever you drive this, you feel like you're 18 always.
So म जहिले पनि एउटा के भन्ने गर्छु भने यो व्यवसायहरूले चाहिँ एउटा ठुला हामी CSR का कुरा गर्छौं, तर कर चाहिँ तिर्दैनौं. त मेरो विश्वास के हो भने हामी ठुला CSR को कुरा भन्दा अगाडि कर तिर्ने भने हाम्रो दायित्व हो. So I'm happy to tell you that Raj's family, Vijay uncle, have been awarded many times as the highest taxpayers in the country. So I mean, this is something that we are all inspired by and we strive to learn from, because paying taxes is very important. Congratulations, Raj, on that. We're really proud of you. Keep doing great work, supporting the community, as well as fueling your passion. And on that note, we're going to go out for a drive in this beauty now. Let's move.
Gonna take you for a ride in my brand new car. Gonna take you for a ride in my brand new car.
Oh. Engine the Ross, right?
Make it real. Gonna take you for a ride in my brand new car.
Wow.
Gonna take you for a ride in my brand new car. You better hold on to the
ride, Raj. Thanks, man. This is like a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I really enjoyed, and I'll come again to take this car out. Now let's move to the Cadillac. Oh, this is a big car, yeah?
Cadillac.
Pretty smooth, huh? Just glides. I didn't realize. So thank you so much, Raj. We had a great drive in the 190 SL and the Cadillac. We really enjoyed it. And thank you for having us over. And एक किसिमले हामी सबै automobile loverहरू नेपालको बाट तपाईलाई धेरै धन्यवाद छ, because I think the passion, the commitment, the dedication and the resources you've committed over 20 years to have these beautiful machines restored is something amazing. And we're all proud that in Nepal we have such treasures, these automobiles. So thank you so much, and thank you for having us. It was a pleasure.
You're more than welcome. Thank you. And to all you classic car lovers, you know, there's 150 of them left out there. So please bring them out and polish them up and take them for drives. Classic cars, classic bikes aren't supposed to be locked up inside the house. They're supposed to be driven and enjoyed. Thank you. Thanks.
And on that note, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Guys, if any of your family members, any of you all have classic cars, bikes, please restore them. Enjoy those machines. As Raj said, it's meant to be driven. It's a part of our history, culture. We need to be proud of it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Signing out.